Hello everyone, welcome to the third lecture of 61C. Today we're going to talk about C arrays, strings, and pointers. Last lecture, we learned about some C basics, such as typed variables, typed functions, C syntax, and control flows. We also talked about what is true and what is false in the C world, and learned that only 0 and null evaluate to false. We introduced the concept of pointers, which is a variable that contains an address. They help to make programs run faster, but they're also a big source of bugs in C coding, so we need to be careful when using them. We also learned that C passes parameters by value, which means the function gets a copy of the parameter. So changing the copy cannot change the original. But if we pass pointers into the function, we can then modify the value by dereferencing it. Here, I want to make a small clarification about struct. This is an example of how we normally define a struct. First, we create a variable type called struct full in this case, then declare a specific variable by doing struct full, then the name of the variable. We have name 1 here. We can also put a star in front of it. That makes name 2 a pointer. One thing to note is that struct full or full is not a variable, but more like a variable type. There's also another way to define a struct. We use typedef. Typedef is a keyword that's used to give a type or user-defined type a new name. So here on the right, we give variable type struct full a new name called bar. And then we can use bar directly to define new variables. Bar now works as the other C types that we normally use, such as int, char, short, and so on. On the left, we can also define struct full as we previously did right here, and then use typedef again to give variable type struct full a new name bar, and then use bar as we did on the right. These methods are all equivalent, they all achieve the same goal. Using typedef can save some typing, but it hides the fact that full is a struct type, or bar is a struct type.